opening up. I'm out here running
Right.
around.
Ready? Oh, you out and about?
I'm not out and about because I'm not trying to. I know me. I don't want to catch. And I'm not doing large parties.
Yeah, I definitely can't do no parties and no clubs. Like, I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I'm nervous.
I can't do none
But
of
I'm
that.
sorry for the last time that,
It's
when I had to back out. But I
it's
said I would
okay.
make it up to you, so I'm here.
I appreciate that. Hold on, let me go to my air conditioner. Hold on.
Oh, I know. I need this one to get this hot.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. The people wanted to see you. The people wanted to see you. You look good. You look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
You, you look good. I like the way I like the guy that's been doing your hair lately. He's been turning it for you.
Kendall Dorsey. That's
Yeah,
my
can do.
people.
Or
Yeah.
can do. Or can do. Or can do. Get out there, can do. So, so I don't know if you remember this, but I met you a long time ago when I was a Butch
When you
Angles.
approached me in Atlanta,
No, 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 no.
oh.
Not when you threw shade.
I didn't throw shade. You said to me, you said something. Oh, because I know you used to have a problem with me, and I was like, I
No, no. That's not Tempress. No shade. My mind, I remember everything. First of all, I said to you, I was like, hi Tempress, and you was like, do you know me? And I was like,
I would never say
I
that.
swear,
I would never.
I swear you said
Oh my.
that.
If I ever said anything like that, I truly apologize. I've never. Now, sometimes I was on one, and I was just in the feeling. When they made you feel like you was the girl, and I probably was in the mix, and had a couple of cocktails or whatever. But I don't remember ever saying to anybody like, "Do you know me?" And if I ever did that, I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
It's okay, it's okay. You was like, do you know me? I was like, this is a boy who don't know you. And you was like, oh hi, and then Kim was right there with you. Kim was like, yo,
Kim,
Kim.
oh, Revlon, Kim, my sister Kim.
Kim was right
Where was
there,
this
and then
at? In Atlanta?
yes, and she looked at me like, bitch, she looked at me like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? And I walked away. And then later
So
on in the
my do you know me? So sometimes I say stuff and it might be taken the wrong way. So it might have been like, do I know you? Like, or like, do you know me? Like have we met before? Like
right,
I can see myself saying something like that. And then like a lot of times things that I say, my intentions always come out wrong because I was people seen a lot of Tempress mode and so they thought that stuff was being said in a certain type of way.
I was like, wow. I was like, wow. I was like, see, this is what I get for speaking. I said, this is what I get for speaking to the girls. I should have never spoke to the girls.
But
No, but I met you a long time ago in Dr. Gardner's office.
in whose
Years
office?
ago. Dr. Gardner. Remember Dr. Gardner in Brooklyn? When I used to give out the mounds?
The Moans, yes.
I
That
met
was
you
a long time ago.
a
That's when
long
I was
time
like
ago.
starting. That's when I
Yes.
was like, that was like the beginning.
It was like in the 2000s.
Yeah, that's when I started, like early 2000s. So, yes. Oh, that was a long time ago. Shut up.
That's where I first met you.
I remember that.
How did you get started? Like how did you come into the scene?
So, like, oh, I'm not. Hold on, I don't know how to record this. I would have loved to record it. I didn't start to record it. Last night I tried to record the screen, but I couldn't you couldn't hear us talking. So it would be good if I could record this. Somebody record this for me. Anybody in the do
If
you
you
record your
if
interviews?
you record it for huh?
Go ahead. Do you record
If you
it?
record it, I can hear
Uh,
you. If
I
you
said, do
record
you
it,
record it? I
I
want to
have somebody
record it.
record.
Oh, have somebody record it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can
And
somebody record
if you
it,
record,
please?
somebody said I'm recording. Okay,
Okay.
work. Okay, work. So, how did you get started into the scene? Thank you, Jordan. Reggie, you is a
So
kid. Thank you,
so
Reggie.
I I so I used to do plays and stuff, and I went to Clark Atlanta and there was people from Morehouse who had started a ball. I mean, who had started a house. They were like the escadas. They were called evangelistas back then. But then they had seen me, and like they followed me back from campus. I auditioned in the fashion show at Morehouse, and they followed me back to campus and stuff. And they like at that time I was giving, I'm not gay, and stuff like that. They was giving, I'm not gay, like because I talked the same way and everything. So they was giving, girl, okay, you know. And so I started. I ended up being around them, and a couple of kids that I knew from Morehouse was a Chanel. And so they told me about it. They seen me in the play, and they like, you need to start walking balls. And I was giving, well, what's that? And so I ended up going to the ball. They had a first ball in Atlanta. I thought I was Mother Prada. I had a made up a house. I was a mother of the house. I didn't know that you had to be affiliated, you know, with another house. I was down there. I got all these straight kids and stuff together, and I was giving. We going to the balls, and they was giving Mother Prada. Like, do they know you? So that's how I got into it. I felt like it was like entertainment because I was already performing and shit. So it was giving audience. Okay, I'm here for that.
What was your first category? Did you know did you know about the categories? Being that you just came with your own kids, did you know about the categories and stuff already?
I knew about the categories. I mean, like, so I started out. I walked Butch Queen Face. I walked Butch Queen Performance. I walked Butch Queen Runway. I tried everything, but I end up in the House of Chanel. I end up starting out really for real, as Butch Queen Vogue Femme.
For real?
And it wasn't really nothing. I don't think it was really that I could Vogue. I just think I was cunny. Like it was like I was kind of small, you know, and stuff. And so, you know, that's where I started. But then I really started turning it when I walked drag space.
Okay. You wasn't. So you originally from up north. So then you went to college in Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm originally from New York. I'm from Mount Vernon.
Okay. Work. Okay, work. Cause I first started when I first started when I first started about you. I remember I started getting up in and I was coming to see and everyone was like, oh, tiny. Like, you was a big thing.
Yeah, that's when I really that's what really made me like get into it because like Vogue and I was like, you know, it was like okay tiny, but then when I walked drag space they was giving oh bitch like you know that's when you know I got life like that for real. So and that's when my name like just started you know pumping and then Jack and them came down there and I had one like face overall face and I was a drags and I had beat Femme Queens and Butch Queens, and so that's when it really. But when I used to come to New York out of drags, nobody knew who the fuck I was. They would be like, I'd be like, you acting funny. They like, who are you? I'm like, Tiny. They like, for real.
Oh my god. Oh
So,
my gosh. So so how did you get from um how did you get from Chanel to Allure in your beginning days?
so Chanel's end up breaking up. Like we end up. So there was like a problem with something happened between RR and some of the founders. Like my first gay father was Bud Chanel, and he was the father of the House of Chanel. And so we end up splitting. Like we wanted to leave, and then at that time, a lot of people wanted me to be a mother, and Shay Shay was still a mother, and Shay Shay wasn't really given a mother at that time. And so we had ended up splitting. So the Allures have reached out to me, which is my gay father now, Al, who has been for like the last 20 years, or 50, something like that. They had talked. They reached out to me. We talked. I always thought the Allures was dope. I was like, that's what I want to, you know, give or whatever. So I end up becoming an Allure, and then I end up moving to New York.
All right, I saw you one day. I remember one day I saw you, bitch. One day we was on Christopher Street. You hopped out the motherfucking car with a fur on, and mind you, everybody was like, "She transitioning now. She transitioning now." And you went in the store on Christopher Street. I don't forget. So anybody that's a friend of mine will tell you, I don't forget.
I always used to get out the cab over there too.
I don't forget nothing. So they was like, I didn't know who you was because I wasn't really in. I was in Ballroom, but I was a voguing girl. So I'm still trying to learn my due deals. They like, oh my gosh, that's tiny. And they was like, that's tiny. Allure. You in the store, mind you, at this time you moved to New York, but then you was in Montclair now. So they up there, they all pumping your tea and all that. They going up for you. And the girls that knew you was talking to you got back in your car. I was like, oh, she look cute.
Thank you.
So how did you get from
Yes.
how did you get from Allure to Mugler?
So with Allure, it was like I kind of so Al is my gay father. He has always been. We ended up becoming roommates in Jersey, like when I moved back up here from Atlanta, and so I kind of was holding on. Like I felt like the Allures. I was really close to Al. Like, you know, we were alike. They felt like Al was spoiling me and like giving me special privileges. And so I felt like they were turning against me. Like, I felt like they didn't like me. I felt like the only person that I really, you know, was close to was Cheyenne and Al. And like, you know, we always hung out and a couple of other people, you know, in the house. But for the most part, I just felt like a lot of people didn't like me. And so, and I always wanted to be a Mugler from when I was a Chanel because they were space. Like, you know what I'm saying? From way back, I was like, oh, I just always, and I couldn't leave my family with the house of Chanel because that really was my family. Like, that was my birth house. And I didn't just want to just leave. And so at the time, oh my God, at the time when that just threw me off because I read that comment.
Ain't no
So I
funny.
end up becoming a nuclear. I end up telling Al that I no longer was gonna be in Allure. We were no longer roommates anymore and stuff. And the Mugliers, you know, reached out to me. Actually, Stasha called me. Stasha called me and she was like, "You need to become a Mugler." I was giving, girl, everybody wants us to battle. You think we should battle first or whatever, so it won't be no. And she like, no, bitch, because if we battle, we gonna have to keep battling. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just became a Mugler.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. I love that she called you. I when I called a girl,
She did.
and how did it feel when she called you out of all people?
It was dope. It was dope because I had always really wanted a sister in the scene. Hey, I always had wanted like a sister in the scene that we could really like go at the girls together. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then she was the hot number. Like she was the it girl. When I came in, she was the it girl. She was the one to beat. Like when people would see me, they will always be given, you need to get Miss Stasha. You know, I was honored that she came to me.
You didn't want to get her?
No, I didn't want to get her at the time. At the time, I didn't want to get her.
Okay.
Until I left that house, then that's when I wanted to get her. But at the time, no, I didn't want to get her. I really wanted us to be a team. I really wanted us to. I mean, I asked her to battle, like, should we battle? But she made sense with what she said. And I was like, well, that's dope. And so I was ready for us to get everybody else.
All right, that was good. That was good. That was good. Um, so how overall, how's your whole experience been like balancing like regular life and ballroom and being like a ballroom legend and then doing the things that you want to do and going back to and being and still acting and stuff like that. How's all that? How has all that been for you?
I think that now I'm at a place where I can really focus on me and acting and things like that. But I think that I was caught up for a while. Like it was like ballroom, ballroom, ballroom. You know, it was like go make your money in ballroom and then and come back to ballroom. Like so, I think that I put a lot of time and energy into ballroom and not realizing that there was things that I needed to do outside of ballroom.
Right? Because it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be I didn't know the shit was.
Yes, but you get caught up, bitch.
Everybody, please share the live. Please send us gifts. Please share the live. Share the live. Share the live. It's the icon
Yes.
Tempress, the iconic one.
Okay.
So how old were you when you first started in the scene? Like when I used to see like Dr. Gardner. No, actually, when I see like Dr. Gardner, I was like, when you told me how old you was, I'm like, you lying. Like
I told you how old I
yes,
was.
because we was I was young, I was Dr. Gardner. I was in junior high school. I went with my mother. My mother.
Oh yeah, so around that time I didn't mind telling my age. So girl, you must know where I'm
Yeah. But
at.
it's beautiful and I love it. I was gagging because I was like, bitch, wait, I'm all big and shit. I'm like, I'm like, girl, what? Like, yo, but I really remember you in a doctor's office.
Yeah, I came. I did come. I started kind of late.
You know who else?
You know what I'm saying? Like I
You know who else was in the doctor's office that
go
day
ahead.
too with us? Tamara.
I remember Tamara. I remember that. I'm trying to picture
I
you
was.
back then, but I do remember Tamara around it.
I looked delayed.
She said I looked delayed.
It was Tamara had came in there too. I remember I was with my girlfriend. I was with my homegirl. Tamara came in. Tamara Mugler came in there, and she was telling me I need to wear a bang, and you were sitting right there.
Tamara Amori, I used to be around Amori because Amori was like my sister because Amori was Carrie's daughter, and Carrie is both of our gay mothers.
Okay.
So that's who you was. Oh yeah.
Yes, I didn't know Carrie was your mother. I always thought Cheyenne was your mother.
No, a lot of people thought Cheyenne was my mother, but Cheyenne wasn't really my mother. Cheyenne was like, me and Cheyenne was very, very close, and we was cool or whatever. But I think Cheyenne thought I was playing. Like when I was ready to. At that time, I was ready to feel a feeling, and it was like I was scared to just go all the way out myself and do it. I just wanted, to just, see what it, and Carrie from the time she seen me, like when I used to come up here as tiny, like she like you playing, like that's like you are a woman, you are a girl, like stop. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, I was scared. Oh, no, what was on the other side? Because at the back in the day, I was acting and I was doing things, and it was like okay, and so I was scared to just fully just go ahead because we didn't have like role models and stuff, or the girls that were the girls, they were stealth. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't really know who was turning it and who wasn't. And so I was a little nervous, but she came at a time in my life that really, really helped me and guided me from the beginning. I felt like a little girl, and I was older than a lot of them. They just said no. But I felt like a little girl again, and she gave me that guidance that I need, and she told me how to make money. She told me I learned. She was a woman in the house, and I lived for that. I was able to identify with that.
Well, Carrie, shout out to Carrie. Carrie, with the body. Oh my gosh, Carrie had.
Thank you.
Carrie had.
Carrie, yes, she had all the body.
She had
Yes.
the curves for
Her
your
body out, pretty
nerves.
out. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Yes, Carrie still her mother. Carrie will always be her mother. You know.
I haven't she will always be my grandmother.
So what do you prefer, New York or Atlanta?
I have such a love and hate. Like right now, New York is wearing me because of everything that's going on. Corona scares you up here because we on top of each other. It's like everybody, the trains. When I'm in Atlanta, I'm always jumping in my car. I'm hitting it. I'm going to where I need to go, and I'm going back home. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. It's a little more spread out. You got more room. You're not on top of each other. But for what I need to do, and what I'm trying to do, New York is the place for me. And I was having a good time before all of this shut down and everything. I felt like I was moving in the way that I should be moving, and I was really New York keeps me on my grind. New York makes you grind. Atlanta, you get very complacent, because you get a lot for your money, and you just be chilling, like, oh, let me go make some money and come back, but you get bored real fast.
Right. My girlfriend want to move to Atlanta. Erica want to move to Atlanta so bad. She was like, "Come on." I was like, "No, I'm not going to Atlanta." I'm like,
She gonna get over it. She'll like it for a little while, but then she gonna get over
"No,
it.
I'm not. I know me. I'm not about to go fall in love and live in Atlanta with some man and be gagging. Knowing me. So so how does it feel to be like 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 the girl, you used to come into the venue and like when you used to come on the board the building, you used to shake the room like we will be
I always never felt to that magnitude of what other people tell me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never, when people, be like, girl, because, they love you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you think so? Like, I mean, I knew that I had people who liked me, but I felt like there was so many more people who didn't. And so I didn't that's me just always being my worst critic or whatever. But I always was like, child, I don't really think they like me like that. But I know that they do, and I know that people kept my name, for years and years because I've been out for years. So people still say my name, so I know people do love me. So I appreciate all of that. But I think like the one side of me is always like I don't know if the people like me like that, and that's honest. I promise
They
you.
love you, girl. They love you.
Well, good. That's good. Well, thank y'all for loving me. I love you for loving me.
What's the thing I was when you did the so you was acting. So what's your favorite plays like? So like, cause you was in theater, right? Am I correct?
I was in theater. I was in theater. Like the first
This is
play
really
that I
cool,
ever
huh?
seen that my nana took me to, and I just knew that I wanted to be on stage was Mama, I Want to Sing. And I was like, I don't know if you heard of that. It might be a little past your age or whatever. Mama, I Want to Sing. I think they brought it back, but like I was like, yo, I want to do that. Like that's what I want to do. So that was like, I thought The Color Purple was really dope too, as like far as the latest ones that I've seen. Um, yeah, I like The Color Purple. That was good. But Mama's thing will always resonate for me because it was something that made me realize what I really wanted to do.
Okay. I like the plays. I only saw one play in my life.
And your
It was
whole life,
Matilda. Yes,
what play was that?
Matilda.
What was it? What,
Matilda.
you said
Only one I saw. Yo, they
okay.
weak in the comments. That's the only one. They want. So who taught you how to sing? How did you know how to sing? You're so talented in so many
Thank
ways.
you. I came up in church. Like, I mean, I don't know, like from a very young age, like when I was younger, like before my transition, it was like, I gotta be this. I'm gonna be a singer. I'm gonna be a singer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing you could tell me in the world that would stop me from thinking that or believing that or going after that. And just as a child, I was the one really who went to my family and would be like, oh, I got on Star Search. Oh, I got on Apollo. Oh, I did such and such. And I think that I always just knew how to sing. My father sings, the whole side of his family sings. So I knew how to sing, but when I got in church gave me that, oh, okay, like the key, the harmonies, you know what I'm saying? It really made me want to sing.
Wait, you was on Apollo?
I was. I won the Apollo.
And what did you?
I sang at the inauguration where Aretha Franklin, like I did a lot of shit. The thing is like you a lot of stuff you can't pull up because they didn't have, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Wait, so what did you sing on Apollo?
I sung Feel the Fire by Prebo Bryson and Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills has sang it over. I sung that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. You won?
I did. I won. They called me back. I sang at the mayor what is it called?
Inauguration.
Inauguration. Yes. I sang for that. There, like they had me come back. Like I did a lot of shit when I was younger. It was like
I mean, they want to hear you sing. They want to hear you sing.
I don't see nobody said that.
They said sing for us. Look, they sing it in the comments.
Good evening. I don't have no song in mind. I haven't sang it so long. What you want me to sing?
You can sing. Can you sing Anita Baker?
Huh?
Anita Baker.
What song? Sing some gospel.
Or you can sing
Sing
Secret
some
Lady.
gospel. They all
I
saying
just
gospel.
can't go.
They all saying gospel. Sing gospel. What song? His album is very. Ooh. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home?
Y'all send some gifts for that. Come
Okay.
on. Y'all playing them out. Send them ones and twos. What else?
See, the
So
weather told yes.
you sound beautiful. Like no shade. Like I'm gonna say this. I want to say this to you. You in Paris, when y'all sing, no shade, y'all still sound like women. Some people sing. I know I got a deep voice, so y'all know I'm not reading. I know what I sound like, but I don't sing. Some of the girls be singing and it be a game. No shade. I hate when the girls sing and they be playing like and it be giving like no shade. Like you sound good because the girls
Thank
be
you.
like church. Y'all was filming some. Was y'all filming a show? And you was singing at the church.
Yeah. It
What happened to the show?
So from what I understand is the guy that was like got us all together, um, wanted to like the networks wanted to take it over and he didn't want to release it. Like it was like his baby and he still wanted to have some things to do with it. And a lot of times when you're bringing something to the networks, they're giving, okay, we like this. We're picking the people and like, let us run, let us do our thing. And he didn't want to do that from what I hear because I was going to do another one and they actually came back to me was like, okay, do you know you was picked up by a show? You was on a show that was picked up by a network. And I was like, well, I know I was doing a show, but I don't know if it was ever picked up. And they was like, it is. It's like it's written like in the wherever. So I don't know. And he ended up running off. Like we ain't even see him no more. So it would have been a dope show because it would have been a dope show with Trace, Amaya, Nadia, London. Like we was coming out for the girls. We wasn't ready to represent before the girls was really out there representing. Like it was about to be a tea.
Right.
So
You think the world was ready? You think that the world was ready at that time
I
for
think
that
it
show?
was. I think there was a few times that I missed the mark that it could have happened. I used to date somebody in the industry and they wanted me to come out and be like, just sing and we just spill my tea and I was giving child no. Like back then it was given you just didn't want to be known for to be like excuse me y'all, I'm sorry. The transsexual, the transgender. No shade, I'm baby Tempress. Hey Mariah. Yeah, um so I think they would have been ready. I think they would have been ready, like because Amaya. I remember when Amaya called me and was like, "I just spilled my tea," and I was giving for real, and it went ballistic. So I think it would have been dope. It was a cute show.
How many episodes did y'all film? How many episodes did y'all film?
We did really like the pilot. Yo, what they should have got was us living in the house together. Like, they would have got us living in the house together. That shit would have went crazy. Because the stuff they was taping was very.
And the girls y'all was getting
They was
caddies.
getting
Y'all was
bucked.
what y'all?
They was getting bucked. Like the girls was getting bucked. Because you living around the girls. It's giving, okay, girl, like you doing all this now. We're no longer in ballroom. We're no longer playing. We're right here. Bitch, what's good? Like you're like is you really about it or what? Like, it was getting crazy. It was the people. I remember Nadia. I love you, Nadia. Like Nadia, London, and Nadia was giving London and my daughter, me and London. Like it was just crazy. But we loved each other.
Oh
Like
my
it was a
god.
sisterhood, but it was, it got kind of crazy at times.
Okay. I wish they would. I wish y'all definitely would have did it because I feel like
It was, but yeah, I wish we would have too. But everything
Did you
happens
see
for a
that? Did you
reason.
see what?
You said what?
Did you see what happened to the trans girls recently that just happened to them in LA?
Yeah, I did. I think that that's horrible. I think that it's so sad that we have to be so worried about what's going to happen to us, in life. And really, like, the girls, they need to start carrying some protection, and like, because they be trying it. Fortunately, I haven't had any episodes, like that, and I pray that that never happens, with me, and a lot of times, sometimes, the girls have, you don't realize that you may have a passive privilege, and so a lot of, you haven't really come across, all of that. And I haven't, but I see it so many times, and like, we're losing so many girls. The girls need to get them something and put it up in their pocketbook, baby.
Right. God bless the girls that happened. So I know
Okay.
one of them actually.
You did?
I know one of the girls. Yeah, not personally, but I know her. I know her. Like, we speak via um social media all the time. Like, she always hits me up like, "You are so funny, da da da," and she yeah. And girl, God bless y'all. I hope everything goes well with y'all and everybody. All the girls, please stay safe. Please stay
Yes.
safe.
It's sad.
I know I'm going to jail. I already told the girls, bitch. If you hear I did something, bitch, they came for me and I went
And
off, bitch.
right.
And that's just what it was,
Right.
bitch. Send me something, y'all. House Lives Matter, send me a package. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what it's gonna give. So what I was gonna so I saw you on Pose.
Mhm.
How was that for you?
It was dope. It was dope. It was. You said, "Are you a trans?" It was dope. It was. I thought, for me, like I said the other night, I think somebody asked me. For me, the best part was, like, the actresses. Like, some of the actual stars were so nice to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were like, "Hi," like, we were having conversation. I ended up in some magazine, because me and India was just talking behind the scenes or whatever. And, like, she was a sweetheart. All of them, they were just sweethearts. And I was like, they coming up to me like I'm the, person. Like, I would be coming up to them. And they were like, they know you're Tempress. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess they, pay attention to the balls. Because you never know. Like, sometimes how people are. But I thought that they were so warming. And I enjoyed myself.
I was on a set with them, so they were very, very, very nice as well. I like the show. Do you like the show?
I do like this show. I think that's like one of the most authentic. Like, I seen my life 3 times over in that show. Like, it reminded me of back in the days when I was in Chanel and people were staying at my house and all of that stuff, and we all ate together and all of that. And then I remember being that girl with the sugar daddy, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then he, the undercover guy, and you can coin from him and all of that stuff. I've been through all of that. So all of that reminded me of my life.
Right. How does it Speaking of that, like, so you've been mother of multiple houses. How does that feel like when you transition over to other houses and you leave the kids behind?
So, you leave the kids behind. Oh my god. um. So I think that when I leave a house, it's always known, like, that there's a build up. It's not like, oh, I'm just like, okay, I'm gone. It's like, okay, y'all are trying it. Y'all are trying it, and I'm giving it some time. And now I gotta be like, okay, the kids was whoever kids that I was close to, we will still be close when I leave and go to another house. Because at the end of the day, if y'all are my friends and family, all my family that's been my family in Ballroom is still my family, no matter what house I'm in. Because I'm Tempress first, and so at the end of the day, it's like things are just not working out. And I say to anybody, it's like a sport. Whatever team at the time is like,
Mugler, back to Chanel,
yes.
back to Allure, back to Mugler.
Yes.
So that was so. How was it? How was it? Now, this is a good question I want to ask you. What? All right, so when you did all of those, you were still young and you were still learning, right?
Right.
How does it feel? How does it feel when you came back and you was an adult and you knew what you wanted and you was able to give order about what you wanted in that situation versus being younger and I'm telling you what you need to do?
I always was outspoken, so like nobody really ever told me what I need to do. I was always kind of, like, I was kind of. So I mean, but the thing is, like, it was. I don't know. I always felt so the good thing. So the thing about that, me being able to go back, shows that I never left in bad. Like I never left on bad terms, and I always stood up. I always stepped up to the plate wherever I was mother was when I was mother, and these people always allowed me to come back because I did my job as mother. So, and it was never anything that I was doing before I left. So. That's why I was accepted to those places. I thought that things probably, I don't know. I was, and plus I was like, when I was younger, I was just the type of person who reacted rather than think it through. It's like, oh, bitch, you did such, I'm doing such and such, and that could be the cancer in me or whatever. So it's like, um, yeah, I was just reacting. But yeah, the second time around, it was just like I just really wasn't going for it. But I always gave like the houses that I stayed with a couple of years. Like it was like I didn't just go and then leave in a couple of months. It was like I did at least. It seemed like every time I came up on 2 years, it was like I was hitting it or whatever. So I don't know. I guess just things that just still didn't fit right to me. And I guess really what I needed was my own house. And like so after this, I ain't going nowhere because I'm a founder. I'm one of the founders. I can't go nowhere else. It's like for what?
Right, right.
You know?
How, how does it feel being a founder of your own house now?
I like it. I like it. It comes with a lot. Um I like it though because it's my family, and I can kind of push things the way I can, have more input of things the way I want them to go. And I think that like the picture and the portrait that I always wanted as a family is definitely there, and the closeness is there. I finally feel like I have a team for real, for real. Like I was always doing things myself. Yes,
I figured
yes.
you had. I figured you had like
Girl,
the
bye. And
girls.
people
You
be
know.
telling you that. They tell you that. And that's why I was leaving a lot of times too. Because people be telling you they're going to do this and that. And you'll get there and they're not doing it. And I'm looking like a fool because I got to leave again because you lied to me. And I'm giving, bitch, I'm getting out of here. I'm paying all this money. I'm still paying money for years to do for myself. It's like, near and few, excuse my nails, y'all. I told y'all I ain't get my nails done. I gotta go. But it's like near and few times where somebody may do a little something for you, but every time I was doing something, I was doing something for myself. It's not nobody in them houses that could be like they was buying any of my get ups or they were doing anything like that. I was always doing for myself. So, and now I'm finally got a team, and I got people who are really love me and willing to help me and want to see me win. Like they still like they on the sidelines, like yo, what we gotta do, like you know what I'm saying? And I think that the girls, especially when you put your time in and you've done so much, I think that for you to be shown that appreciation, it makes you want to do things more, or it makes you glow better. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a background, a team that's helping you, and you just ain't stressing yourself out all by yourself.
Right. Right. Shout out to your team. Shout out to the Margella team.
Mashallah.
All right. I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm here for it. I'm really here for it. That's fab. Cause I thought that that's why you was leaving. I thought they was getting you out there.
No, it was not given that. Actually, the reason that I left the house, well, I won't say specifics, but yeah, it wasn't given that. But a couple of
So you
houses,
was so
huh?
no finish. Sorry,
Yeah, a
finish.
couple of houses like that was one of the reasons. It was like I was doing everything on my own all the time, and people never got that. I was getting it outside stuff that we have to attend to, and you know what I'm saying. And so if we come in it's not, it's like you want to clap, we want us to bring the trophies home or be like, this showpiece and everything or whatever. I feel like, yes, why you should. It costs a lot. Hair costs a lot. Your dress costs a lot. Getting your makeup done costs a lot. And shoot, they want you to be beat as fuck. But bitch, if you slacking, then it falls on us. So do you help me out, and I'll turn it for you. you know.
Right, right, right. I feel you. No, it does. It does. It definitely does. And you've been turning it for years, so I know. I'm like, maybe I gotta renegotiate one of my contracts and get my little stuff.
I've been in the game for like years and years and years, so it's like at some rallies around you.
They definitely do. They see the thing about it is I feel like I was walking for a minute and I never cared. I used to just walk just because they were like, all right, Courtney, you gotta walk. Like when I became a garçon, it was given you gotta walk this many amounts. It was probably like 2 or 3 times a year. But if I showed up more, they wouldn't mind if I didn't walk as long as I was at the meetings and stuff like that. Then when I got to Aga, pretty much the same thing. But when the Juicies became more of a bigger thing, and they was feeling like, no shade, we want to see you do good. Like, mother, you got to turn it. And I was helping them so much that they was like, what can we do to help you? And I'm looking at them like, girl, y'all can't even do nothing. And they was like, bitch, we do hair, we do makeup. Like, and then they
Right.
started pulling me together, showing me, like, picking out dresses and going with me to the balls because I never had that before. So once I poured into them, they poured back into me. So I could say right now, but I'd be like, oh, if I was looking at a Mugler board, the whole house would have been there. And they were like, bitch, we in the Mugler board. Fuck
Right.
that. Like, we all
And
in a
you need
spot.
that.
So,
That needs to happen. Like when your main girls is working, girls that's been turning it and bringing it home. Like and you actually deal with the house on a daily basis. Like my people's like I talk to like Vinny Smiles, like they don't make moves. I was like we make moves together. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that's on the board, we make moves together. So when you have like individuals like girls, because some girls they just feel like a showpiece. Now, no, yeah, it's probably not you. Not gonna be like but if you are hands on, like you seem very hands on to me. Like I don't know. I'm on the outside looking in, but you seem very hands on to me, and I feel like if you're very hands on like that, you should definitely be appreciated. Like they should rally around you, and you should have people that are in the whole team. Some people should be there for if they do makeup, like or if they do hair, or they might be creative. Like you need those people on the team so that it just runs well.
right. No, you ate that. Cause me coming in and seeing y'all, cause y'all was out before me, so I figured that's what y'all had already.
It wasn't
I thought
always
that's what y'all was given.
Yeah, it wasn't always like
I ain't
that
know
for
y'all
me,
was.
boo. Like like it's kind of given like, oh, it's like she put so much time in, and like and she done did it for herself, and finally on the back end, it's a 360, and I got people who love me and who help me, and I love them, and I'm always there for them, and then plus this is my baby too. Like I want to see this house flourish, and when I'm no longer here, I want it to be Margella, and Tempress is a part of the team who started Margella. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my comes to play. So I'm here. I can't do it by myself no more. It's just not happening.
Speaking of Margella, last year in Atlanta, the girl walked Femme Queen Realness and she was cisgender. Um, How did you feel about that? Did you know anything about that when that was going on?
I
When you
didn't.
saw her, did you know?
I didn't know her, and so at the time, I had never been around her. I never got to sit face to face with this girl. Um, I was told by somebody else, another Femme Queen Realness, and at first I was like, okay, is she hating because this girl is so cunt? But then I started questioning it, so I asked the person who brought her in, the person who's one of the people who I was having conversations with about even coming to the house, who brought a whole team to the house. But then it was like, okay, because she played the role too. Like, I don't, like, she played the role too. Excuse me. She like played the role too, so it was like we were just as bamboozled, we were just as shocked. You know, it was like, oh God, now we got to go through this. I know some people are gonna believe it, and some people are not. And then I just was at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? We can't prove it. I don't need nobody else to walk realness because I can walk realness myself, so I don't have to get no cunt like to come and walk like realness. I have girls in my house that can walk realness. I don't have to play those type of games, and I would hate for somebody else to do it to us. So I get it. I get why people was like, you know, going off and mad and stuff, but we really had nothing to do with it. Like it would never be like I would never be behind something like that, and neither would Benny or anybody else that's on the team. And but we got rid of the
How,
people who
how
was about that.
how would you have felt on the other side if you would have been walking and it would have been a cisgender and she would have sat you? How you would have felt about that?
Over it. Over it. I would have been like, that's delayed. And so that's why they made it up, and that's why we had it. That's why we had a category, and we paid the girls the $1,000 because whoever that happened to, and they didn't have to battle. They went straight to the front, and they got that. So we rectified the situation, and it was just like nothing else that we could do from there.
Okay. All right, work. All right, shout out to the Margellas for rectifying the situation. Cause yo, freaking out.
I see that.
Personally, I personally, when the girl battled Paris, I think Paris should have won. I didn't think she was different than
Which
Paris.
one? Which Paris? How tall is
Paris
Paris?
from
I'm
North
5'5".
Carolina.
That from where? What house?
Paris West from North Carolina. That was
Oh,
realness.
Paris. Okay. Yeah, I think that the
I
girl.
was
I
like,
think there was some things about her too that, like, I was like, okay, she could be. And then she had on big shoes. I don't know if she could fit those shoes, but she had on like really big shoes tonight in Atlanta. Then you know she was from the islands, and you know sometimes when you're from the islands, you know what I'm saying. It's like you can have your features could be a little. Thank you, Minnie. Your features could be a little, you know, like. So I believe that was like okay. I said, well, when she changed clothes, like, you can't be like, let me see your stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we gonna say? Like, and even then, there's girls that's got sex changes. So if you want to tell us, then, I mean, what can we do? We can't, how else can we prove it? You know?
I feel you. I feel you. I definitely feel you. Um,
I was like losing weight. I was just really like, you know what I'm saying? I really was coming, but at the last minute, it just didn't come together. I didn't like the look altogether, and it was probably me. I know it was probably over me, but I didn't like the way it looked. Now, if we would have went with our first instinct and seeing how the girls bought it that night, then I could have went ahead. I think I was overthinking it, which happens a lot. Others that it was like, okay, well, I could have came with that and did really well.
do you think that sometimes the categories you think sometimes they don't word the categories the right way?
Right. Or like, yeah, it could be because it could be taken so many ways. Like sometimes with the categories, it's like, you know. So
Yeah.
I usually call and ask, like specifically, like, what are y'all looking for? You know, is this okay? And but every time I talk to somebody and they tell me that this is what they're looking for or whatever, then sometimes when I go back and look at the ball, they must ain't tell that other person that, because I'm like, that ain't what they tell me.
Yeah, because I was gonna walk. I was gonna walk, but when I read the category, I didn't understand it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out. Like personally for me, because if I can't understand it right then and there, because I'm a creator.
Assume especially like asking like your entrance and stuff like it was. They just made it like it was gonna like you needed this whole thing. Thank you. They made it like you was gonna just need this whole thing or whatever, and this whole production, and then everything I would ask them, can I bring in there? They was giving no. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying. And then the dress, like it just sounded. It was like I don't know. It was weird. It sounded weird. Like it. So I was looking to do much more than I guess it was calling for.
What's what would be a perfect category that you would want to write, that you would want to see to make the girls come out?
For me, it's always just kind of just bring it. I like just bring it because I don't need you to tell me like, bitch, let me just go. You know.
Right, right. I see it too. I see it too. I would want it to be. I don't even want you to even ask for an evening gown. Just say, let the girls just bring it.
I agree. I
Just
agree
bring it, like bring it
because
to
you can be creative
in your
yourself.
interpretation.
Yes.
Yeah. I like when you had on. I like when you had on that dress. That dress when you had on in Atlanta, and then you took it off, and it was like that. It was like a one piece, like
The
bathing suit type leotard. I love that.
because you know what, even with that ball, like okay, that ball that was a $7,500 ball. So they told us it was about sell it, sell it, sell it. It said your tens will get you. It said your face will get you your tens tonight, but your selling it will get you the win. So I'm like, okay, bitch, I need something that I could just come up out of it so I could sell because I know the girls is gonna be in gowns, but I know they want us to sell it. So girl, I'm doing all this what, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, and it's giving.
When you prepare, like what is going through your head when you're selling it?
Bitch, I be like, bitch, I become this bitch. Like everybody, I'm like, I want everybody around me to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so like touchy. Like, I'm so like, cause I'm in a zone. Because really, I be nervous as fuck. I be so nervous. So I try to tune it out, and
Still,
I be nervous, boots. I be nervous. I be nervous out, and so I have to tune that girl out, and I have to bring the other girl in. Like Chastity gotta go, and Tempress. Oh, and Tempress comes in. Excuse me, let me get my earrings. And Tempress comes in, like, and so I just don't. I'm the only bitch in here, and I don't want to recognize no other bitch. I don't want to see how pretty she is. I don't want to see, you know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, because like if I don't believe it, you ain't gonna believe it. So, bitch, I believe in it tonight, bitch, and you better believe it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what goes in my mind.
do, do you think that you think do you think they favor the lighter girls more than the darker girls?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been so like I felt like I was an exception to the rule a lot of times. Like when I first started coming back in, because there was chocolate girls, but I felt like the lights.
Right, right, right. Because I do get that. I do feel like they do favor the light skinned girls a little more than the lighter favor girls. Like if I met a Puerto Rican girl, I would probably freeze up more. I would freeze like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know what to do because it's like I know
I'm
my
going
kids is gonna
off.
be so hard.
I'm going off.
It's gonna be
I'm going off, bitch. Because they favor like even if with other races, even with like other ethnicities, like you know what I'm saying. I feel like that's another thing. Like if you're like Puerto Rican or something, a lot of times they're like yes, like even for realness or whatever. A lot of times it's based off of it's colorism. It's a lot of colorism in the ballroom. It has been forever. I think that some of us have kicked it in and like made the other made it a little different, but it is a lot of colorism.
Well, do you think it's colorism on both ends too? Because I feel like in Atlanta, when it's the Atlanta girls, when you're in Atlanta, I don't see the light skinned girls winning over the darker girls in Atlanta.
You just probably don't see a lot of light skinned girls. But well, I don't know. It was like when Nadia came out, Nadia was turning it. Well, it was light skinned girls before. I just think there's a lot of. I
But
think
she,
it's not saying Nadia didn't
but
deserve
she
it,
had
huh?
no. She turned. No, Nadia turned it, but the times when Nadia did not deserve it, they did not give it to her.
Oh right, did not deserve
The
it.
night when you had the night when you had the blonde hair on, the night when you had the blonde hair with the cheetah print, and Shannon had the regular hair, Nadia had that wig on.
Right, but Nadia didn't
It
deserve
was
it.
given.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they was
I
giving
felt
no
like
Nadia,
what the
not
call
tonight.
it like that night. I felt like she's light skinned and I don't want to, let me not talk about it. But when I got beat that night, like I was like, you know what I'm saying? She was, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was inevitable. She was a new girl. She was light skinned and it was like, yes. Like I feel like with the light skinned girls, no matter what, when you coming down that runway, they just giving you the whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, they going up for you already. Like in a dark skinned girl, I feel like
Right,
you
right.
just gotta get more into them. And maybe that's because you have to get into our features like up closer and stuff, sometimes. So I don't know. Hey Lexi.
Again, or you're done walking.
I was really gonna be done for the I'm probably done walking. I mean, I felt like the 10,000 was gonna be my retirement, like for phase. And so I don't know, you say no and then you may be inspired. I've been feeling a little cute lately. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you look good. You look really good. You look really good, by the way. You look
Thank
really
you.
good.
So do you. For me, Shannon is just a beard. Like, so yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know.
So when you battle Face for realness, why did you say that to Face?
When I went,
When you battle Face for realness,
yo, when I
why did you say that to
like,
him?
when I like, that's another thing. Like when I'm battling, like I'm just really competitive, and like it's just I become another person, and it's like I just say whatever. Like I don't never like with the girls. If I battle the girls for realness, I'm real. Or something like that. But I don't really come out my mouth. But for the Butch Queens, I feel like because it's different. Like this is what we live every day. Like we can't just come up there and be like and act. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a part of our look as well. So I'm like, okay, you're not gonna tell me that like you just bold. How can we forget that? And then he started going into the other stuff, and before I knew it, I had said that shit, and then I'm like, oh my god, I always look at myself after like, what is wrong with you? Like, like, why would you say stuff like that? And it's just I'm
Yeah,
saying
it was.
whatever it takes to win. Really, I don't really think that about the people. Like I just be saying it just to win.
You know what's funny? Because after you did that, right, and I watched that, I battled him one night, right?
Uh-huh.
I battled him one night, and I said, I'm the one that fucked him. That's what I said in the
Oh.
battle. I never slept with him, though. I never slept with him. I never
And
slept
you're
with him.
right. You just
I never
needed
slept
something.
with him.
Right.
I never,
Right. Say it. You just be needing something. Would it be coin shot? I remember what you call it, I was going against Tick Tick. I forgot what I said. I went up for him. I think he's very best. But when I go up when I get over the battle of the boy shot, I go, oh.
you got to, you got to, you got to, you got to. What you feel like is your biggest ballroom moment? Your biggest ballroom moment?
mm, I think a lot of people liked when I came with the ocean waves. Um, and I had like the red fox wings on and the red dress. And I didn't even battle a lot of people, but people always talk about that moment. So I think like that moment, like for the look, but for me, it was when I won my first big amount. Like the first time I won 3,000, I was like, yes, and So for me, that's what it was.
Right. Yes, shout out to Tempress. Like, no, I'm just listening. You've been like no shade, like watching you over the years. Like, I get my life. That's why when I first saw you in Atlanta, I was so happy to see you, even though you were shady to me. But I, I was like, because one thing about it is like, I don't. Now this is 100% real. Anybody that knows me that I'm really good friends with, like, I don't really care for the butch queens like that. If I see a butch queen, I won't really talk because I don't. They make me nervous, and I don't. For that, how they feel like I should be and how I should live, I don't really care for.
Right.
So if I would see you, I would speak to you like, "Hey, Timbers, what's up?" Like, even though I don't know you, but I know you in passing. I feel like that we're a community, so we may not. Some of us may act like we don't know each other, and you may not even care about what I do, and I may not even care about what you do. So, but I'll speak. Like, so I spoke to you, and you was getting very much, "Do you know me?" And I was really gagging, like, wow. And mind you, I was feeling it because this is my first time in Atlanta. So as soon as I walked in, Fred Garcon had gave me a hug, and then Scottus was like, "Oh, you look
It was
fat."
like
And
the
everybody was going
cornball.
up.
Was that the cornball?
It was the
It was
convo. It was
because
the
I
convo.
remember talking to you at that bar, and you was like, because you had a problem with me. You said something like you had a because I know you had a problem with me, or you didn't like, or you were shady. Something you said, and I was like, I was like, I said, I didn't know
I
you,
don't
but
remember saying that.
yes, you said that to me. That's my first memory. I always say that. That was my first memory you had said. I was like, what? I was shady to you or something. You was like, yeah, whatever. You had a problem with me. I was like, no, I don't know. I don't remember that. Like,
I don't
so.
remember saying that. I don't remember saying that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. You know what it was? The time, like, I don't remember because I don't remember seeing you no other time before that. Besides the doctor's office.
Right.
And come down Christopher Street. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Like, no, I think that you think that people think you're shady.
Yes, people used to think that I was shady out. Like, I don't know if they still think that, but I know why now. Like, when I look at other people's characters that I know outside of ballroom, and I know that they're different than what they give in front of the camera or on the ballroom floor, I understand that people, the assumption they took my character as Tempress for who I am. And so, like, they were seeing me in the front of the cameras, and every time I'm in front of the cameras, because when I look back at myself now, I'm like, bitch, you are too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm easily I'm easily triggered. If somebody says something, like, I'm like, bitch, I go into mode because you came up around that, like, people trying you or trying to throw, like, little subliminal shade. And then I'm a Cancer, so I probably overthink things and think people are always coming for me. So I would be, bitch, like, if you said something, I was witty, and I would say something back, and I would go off. So, but I'm definitely not that person off of the runway. Like, Chastity is I'm kind of introverted. Like, even this Bigo thing scares the fuck out of me. Like, because I'm like, people are seeing me every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I have to talk like, to people, and I'm coming up with something like, so it's like, oh, let me have a little shot of something before here because it does scare me. Like, it's just like, I'm really not that person. It's a put on. Like Beyonce, she says she has her alter ego. Like, I have my alter ego. And all the girls that in Ballroom that was turning it prior to me that they lived for, they gave you that. They didn't take no shit. So I felt like, bitch, I can't be a pushover, bitch. I'm not gonna take no shit either. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so they thought I
Right.
was shady.
How has Bigo been for you so far?
I think it's been dope. Like, the scare, like what I like don't like I have to do something like how I seen you would interview. I always want to interview people. So I'm like, that would be dope. I would interview, people, and that helps because I like to talk to people. I can talk, I can have a conversation, but it's what I like to converse with others. It's me just sitting there talking is what weirds me out. Like, it's like, because you think you're going to talk about something, but that subject could go real fast. So it's like, what am I gonna say next? Or like, So I like the match when you match and they just match you up to people and I sit and talk to people and stuff all the time. But I think I'm definitely gonna need to like schedule stuff so that I feel like I have a there's a like there's a motive, like there's a goal like that I'm getting to or something I'm doing, because the random shade and all that stuff I'm not really into it. I don't want to go at it with these kids on here. Like I don't want
Right,
to do
right, right. Me either.
that.
Me either. I don't have time.
No, I don't have
I
time.
don't have time.
Yeah.
I got. All right. I got like two more questions, and because I know you probably want to go. You probably like,
No,
girl, I
bitch,
need
I'm
to get
so
out of
good.
here.
I'm having fun fishing. Plus, I need hours, bitch. Like,
Y'all, can we get some? Can we get some gifts? Can we get
okay,
some
what's
beans? Like, what's going
good?
on? Yeah, we
This
talking
is the
down.
part that
Like, give
I
us
don't like
something.
about Vigo is like when they don't be giving me, and I see everybody get so many gifts and stuff. Then I be feeling like the people don't love me. So could y'all gift us and like
Like, can we get a bean? Like, send us a bean.
goodness,
Grants, can I get a bean?
what's good? Hey.
I got y'all. Um, so when you battle Kelly,
What I was like, I knew you was gonna ask me this tonight.
what what is
that Kelly used my name. Like, Kelly kept saying that she beat, like her claim to fame was me a lot of times. Like, it was like she beat me. Like, and they kept bringing that up. And for me, it was like, that was a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always denounced it. Like, I always would be like, child, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but she did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jack called in and said that it was a joke that went too far. The judges, they were like, so whenever she would bring that giving girls, so I guess that's what that was. Just some little playful competition. But Kelly don't she now it's not giving that.
what what ball was this and what was it calling
It
for?
was like, well, it was like at was it Escalitas? It was like one of them balls. It was like one of them like small ball. It was a mini ball. And it wasn't calling for anything. And I was given, and but Jack even said it like it was like something that the judges were supposed to make a joke and they all followed through and all like picked me. Like they said I was Jack had said something about I was feeling it at the time because I was winning all the time and they thought that I was feeling it. And it was just kind of like, it wasn't that I was feeling it because I didn't deal with a lot of people. It was just like I lived in Jersey. I was my gay father. I was giving, you don't need to deal with people like that. You know what I'm saying? So they was giving, bitch, we gonna
I
bring
love
her.
that. Shout out to Al Aloha.
Yes, that's my father, honey. They was giving, oh, bitch, we about to bring her down. We gonna get her right off of that high horse, honey. And they was giving, bitch, let's show her. And it did, but it didn't matter. Like, so, like, I didn't believe it.
Oh,
I thought I was being punked. I was like, where's Ashton Kutcher? You made Ashton Kutcher. I was like, where's Ashton Kutcher, bitch? Because I know I'm being punked. Kelly, I love you, though. So please don't start it back up. Like,
um. So y'all was about to at the board that just passed. Remember the board that ain't had the category I was going to battle that night.
I was there for anybody that night. No, sure. You know how some nights you feel like you was cute. You know what I'm saying, and that you was gonna really do your thing that night. I feel like that night was so disappointing to me because I felt like it was like I came that night because I wanted the girls to not count me out for the 10,000. So it was like, bitch, let me get the fuck back out here and get the hype back up around my name. So when it's coming to the 10,000, it's giving Burberry look out. So I felt like I was like, oh, I came and I was ready for that, and they shut it down. I was so hurt. I didn't want to go to another ball. I was giving child. Wasn't
Yeah,
you
that
gonna
boy. I
walk
was
to?
over that boy.
Wasn't you gonna
I
walk?
was looking realness as a I was looking realness as a house.
Oh, because I had seen it.
I was looking realness as a house. I wasn't come. I wanted to come out, but I was having to cook out the next day. I didn't have the dress. I didn't have. I was like, no, it's not giving that. It's not giving that. And Harold had told me I had like he had left me in charge of the Realness team, and at that time I was winning Realness back to back. So I put the team together, and when I put the team together, he was like, "Courtney, you gotta be on it. You gotta be on it because like the girls that we have in the house don't have they may be realer than you are, but you know how to battle better than they do. And I feel like for this battle, they may need you more to be on the team." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do it." So I decided to do that for the house because I didn't really want to battle anyway.
I thought you was fronting because I know wasn't that the time when you had you said you wasn't coming or something? Was that the time you did the
When I was
video?
crying when I was crying.
Yes. Wasn't
No,
that
because I had to
ball?
do house. No, no, that wasn't the ball. But I was coming for. I wasn't. I really wasn't walking. I wasn't walking. I wasn't walking. I wasn't walking. But I was beat it because I always beat. Like I don't. I can't come outside. I can't be around that many people and let them see me.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the real me is I'm vulnerable. I'm very nothing but a t-shirt on. I never felt so beautiful.
Me
Like I'm very that.
too.
So
Me
I
too.
can't be that around those people.
Right. Right. I
Yeah. So
what did I
hold
do?
on. We gonna get to that in a minute. One
The
more thing.
question.
So
Okay.
how did you feel about another thing? How did you feel about the dress not being form fitting and being form fitting?
Okay, so honestly, like I didn't even read the category. I didn't read the category. I thought that the category was just best dressed mother and father. Um, however,
You looked at Fab, by the way. You looked at
thank
Fab. You
you.
looked at Fab.
Thank you. However, I still think that the dress was form fitted. The dress still was form fitted against it was corseted. It was a whole corset. It was a whole panty that was connecting to it, like a little thing that connected that came under. And that dress, that layer that flared out, that was just a layer on top of it. It was a bodice. The whole thing was a bodice that fit to me. And when you Google form fitted, that same style of dress came up, except mine was a little more extravagant. So I didn't care. I didn't feel no type of way. I felt like I came in for the kids that night. I came to turn it. It was my house's anniversary. And I feel like we did what we needed to do. I don't need the win. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for me. I don't really need the win. I would have loved to have win because my kids was there. But I think that we did what we needed to do. I looked fab. Benny looked fab. We was the talk of the category. It was did. I don't like.
Right.
We was the talk of the category, and so that's really all that matters. Sometimes it's not really about the win; it's a chop. And then, but then I was like, Kelly, why does it always have to be you? Like, girl, we could chop you for a lot of things, and people still let you through. So, like, why do you have to be a stickler when it comes to like somebody like me too? Like, bitch, like, because a lot of people could have chopped up for things, and they don't.
Right. Right. Well. Shout out! Thank you so much, Tempress. Anybody have you? You want them? You want to answer their questions? They ask you a lot of
We can,
questions.
okay, we can.
Any question? Any questions for Tempress? Because I have a lot of questions. I see. Follow, follow Tempress.
Yes.
Follow me. Share the live. Send us beans. We're not talking about ages.
Okay, stop trying. He would ask that. How old are you, nigga? I'm 3 years older than you. Bone crusher.
You know him?
That's my brother.
Have you ever met the old school Tempress?
I haven't, and I think her name was I think her name was Temperance. I think her name was Temperance. Temperance. It's spelled a little different. Yeah, that's Stephon trying that.
Let me see stuff on.
I'm close to your age, Stephon. Bone crusher. I mean,
Um,
sorry.
what advice do you have for the up and coming face kids?
I think like to just I think to be yourself, like be unique. Just always make a moment. Like I feel like I always tell the kids that come behind me, like you want to the road to the road to legendary. It's like basically having something that stands out about you. We need to know if they say bring it like Courtney or Tempress or something. You need to know what you're bringing it like. You know what I'm saying? Like there needs to be something about your legacy that you leave along that people can identify you by. So I think that you should work on you and what your personality is and just always make a moment and not really care what people think about you because you will be looking for validation for the rest of your life.
Right, right. Did you did you ever learn how to Vogue?
A little bit. I think so.
being that that was being that that was supposed to be your first category,
I
did
was
you
the
ever learn?
only one. They had a like, you know. I
I
was
love it.
like,
I love
God,
it.
God, God. It was very that. Can you be a big girl and be considered femme queen face? Yeah, I think a big girl could walk whatever she wants. Like they have big girl face and they have femme queen face. But if you want to get with the just the regular femme queen face, then yeah.
Yeah, you got to come out. Who was the big girl that used to turn it?
Rose, when she was a big girl,
Rose.
she used to turn into a big girl.
Um,
Jasmine, in Atlanta.
yes, Jasmine.
Miss Portia sits like no other. Like
I love Portia. I need Portia to cut my hair one day. I gotta
I
go
do.
out
I want to
there.
get a piece too. I want to get a piece of that too. And them quick weeds be lasting forever. The girls be having them on for weeks. Yeah.
Yes, I love you too. I love you too. I love when Rose was in the car and she into the category for big girl space, and they have the category and she had to sing in the car. She was over it though.
Yes,
She
they.
looked it fast.
Yes. You know, after the person, they tried it. They tried it. They knew I was coming.
Yeah. It was the hair. I love the way her hair was. I love the way her hair was.
Yeah, them
I
big
love the
girls
way
that
her hair
came
was.
that night, they were sitting. Them big girls that came that night.
Why they never? They should have did that category again. They would have carried.
They would have carried. They was in the building that night. It's no shade. They was coming. Portia was out there. Jasmine, Rose, Chartiz. Um, I think Justine, like all of them.
Quisha,
All of them.
how does it feel being like, all right, being like you started later in your transition, but you're around, but you're the same age as the girl. So how does that feel? Does that make you the little big sister?
Right. So a lot of the girls, it was yeah, because like you know, like the girls that I came up with, like my little sisters, like Didi and Coco and them, like they were considered they were younger than me, but they were already girls before I transitioned. So I called them my big little sisters. Like it was yeah. So I had a lot of big little sisters because I was older. A lot of people didn't know, but I was older than the girls.
Right, right, right. Do you have any favorite film queen face besides yourself? Who's your favorite, Tempress? Give me a top five of all time.
Of all time, oh my god, Ajane, Ayana. Um, oh, Octavia. Um, I love the way Danielle sold it. Like, I mean, she just commanded the. And Cheyenne, I gotta definitely say Cheyenne. Cheyenne was my like, you know, I lived for Cheyenne. That was like one of the chocolate girls, and it was like, oh my god, Tempest age is just a number for you. Yeah, like Cheyenne, like that. So, I mean, all the girls that came before me, like a lot of them, like I really, really, really looked up to.
I like Danielle Revlon. I like oh I like Tanya Prada.
Tanya Parker was dope.
Um I like Octavia.
Hmm.
I like I like Lola a lot. Um
I live for Shawnee's.
and, yeah, and I love for Shanice too. I love for Shanice too. But I would give my other vote to probably India Ebony.
India Avenue.
Yeah, legendary India. I would give my last one to India.
Yeah,
My
like
last one to India.
I live for like a lot of the chocolate girls. I lived for Shawnee's back then too. You remember Shawnee's Milan?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna take Lola over here. My other son to
Yeah,
Chinese Malone.
Shawnee's.
I met Chinese Malone.
She was
Me
thick.
and my son used to. I met her. Me and my son was on a train. Me and my son was on a bus in Queens going to my other friend's house, and she was on a bus with us. And she was like, I remember this was like years ago. She was like, this is right before she passed away, like probably like 2 years before she passed away. She was like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Courtney." She like, "You walk walls." I'm like, "No." She like, "You look kind of real." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Are you real?" She was like, "Yes," but she was so nice. I love her so much. Like,
I
oh my
wanted to be
gosh,
like her,
God
like
bless
when
the
in
day.
drag. Sometimes like a few people used to be like, "Oh, you give Shawnee's like you give a Shawnee's Malone." And when I see her and she lived for me that night that I walked, she picked me. I had walked like drag sex time and something. I'm like, "Oh, I want to look like her." She was such an exotic chocolate girl. It was like that. Those
Yeah.
that yeah, I lived for her too. She was very pretty.
When you prep for a ball, what is your skin routine? Do you change your eating? Do you do chemical
I
pills?
do change my I be, I be because I like food and I have a problem with weight. Like I will gain weight real easy. Like I gain weight easy, and I'm short, so I go I like be starving myself. Like I go or like really starve myself. Definitely I get dermabrasions. And I make sure I drink a lot of water. I mean, I try to do that on a regular anyway. And I mean, I never really honestly had problems with my skin like that. So, I just continue to do what I do for my skin. But that's it. It really be me trying to lose the weight because I feel like when you smaller, your face be like, you get you get that structure. So that's what I be going for.
They said Tempress age is just a number for you and Whitney. It's face forever.
Thanks. I live for
AJ said
Whitney.
that. You never, you never walked team. You and Whitney would make a cute
I never
team.
walked over any. They never had tag team like at around the time when we was like really, really like because we was in the house together. I was mother and Whitney was father Mugler like for a little bit and stuff. So, but we never had a chance to do that. But I would love to walk with Whitney. I live for Whitney. Like, Whitney is
If
so
you had
dope.
to, if you had to have a
Thank
butch
you.
queen that you could tag, if you had a tag team with a butch queen, who would it be?
If I had a what
Tag team with a butch queen, who would it be?
tag team with a Bush Queen, like for tag team, like for
Mhm.
face. If
Mhm.
I live for Exotic and I live for Whitney. Like, um,
But you only can take one. You only can take one, girl.
well, Whitney don't walk in one, so Exotic tears it down. Like, I mean, I would, yeah, Exotic don't be playing, but Exotic is gonna come with a nasty production. So, yeah, I would do Exotic.
Y'all forgot about Miss Tracy Africa back in the day. Uh, I didn't see Tracy Africa walk that many times. I only saw him on like one tape, like on one like thing before. I never really see her walk. I saw her walk in person more than I see her walk. I saw her one person. I see her on DVD,
Yeah, I
like
didn't
on
really
tape or
see her
something.
that much either. And Moldavia, I see Moldavia like one time too. I think they both are very pretty. Thank you. And they are hot girls. But I was picking girls like who I seen walk that made me be like, ooh, and that was like Octavia, and I seen Danielle, and I seen Cheyenne, and them and Ajane and stuff. So that's why you know. But I love Tracy Africa.
So
She's beautiful.
if they say legend with an understudy and one of the new girls hit you up, would you walk with them or you gonna pay it?
No, it depends. Like if it's like a good amount. Like
But what do her resume have to be to get you to come out with her?
who? What would have? What would her? What?
What will her resume have to be for you to come out with
It
her?
don't really have to be a resume. It really just is if I see it or not. Like if she's sitting. I mean, there's girls who have hit me up and have asked me to walk stuff, and then it was just kind of like I didn't feel like I wanted to do all of that for how much the category was giving because yet we have to spend a lot of money for categories. So if I'm not getting anything back in return, then it's kind of like pointless. Like, and especially after you have walked so much, I don't be thinking the girls want to see me like that. So if you get me, I don't want to be that girl. They be like, "Would she just sit down?" You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that girl.
No, but I think that see now that I'm an older girl, I'm an older set now. I didn't think that the girls that I came up around and seeing them when they got older, I'm not reading, but I didn't think that you could be so beautiful at this age. Like seeing you, like no shade, like you look over, like you know.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes girls need to like, even if that's why, even if they just have legendary and you battle Ayana, like, I feel like we need that for the culture so people can see, like, no shit, like, it's, you can still have life after life, like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. Me and Kim been sisters
How long have you?
for about 20 years. Yeah, I agree. I think that if I didn't, like, I think that I'm like, thank God God is on my side. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been fortunate enough to, still, like, look nice and keep my youth or whatever. Because the girls would gag if I said my age. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so I'm just thankful that I'm able to still be able to play if I wanted to or whatever.
Because I never see, like, like, when I started coming out, watching the category, like, y'all was the girls, but it was like, okay, well, y'all were very younger back. Y'all was like younger. I like, so I'm like, where's the other girls that where the fuck is
They be
Chinese?
disappearing.
Like, last time I saw Chinese,
They be hitting
last
it.
time I saw Chinese Milan. The first time I saw Chinese Milan, I saw in the clubhouse. She looked the fab. You couldn't even stay next to her. And then last time I saw her, she was literally on a bus sitting beside me, and it's like I was a kitten, so I'm like, maybe that we still, like, some people still need this as an outlet so they still
So
could,
you could
you
still,
know be,
right.
yeah,
Right. That's why
because
yeah, because it keeps you youth. Like it keeps your youth, and it keeps you. You know what I'm saying? Like breathe. Like it just
your ballroom aesthetic be a lot
it
sometimes.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes people need that. Like, people really, 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 really need that. Like, it's nothing like preparing for a ball, bitch.
It do. Like
Oh my.
I have to take that same energy like now because like my friends used to know if a ball was coming. They be like, oh, a ball must be coming. She's doing all of this. She done lost all this weight. Oh, she's doing such and such and such. And I was like, that should not be the reason that I'm doing these things. I should be applying that to my everyday life. Why is it that when a ball comes, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, or whatever. So,
Can't
but
be
it
like
does.
that.
It does. And you want to reinvent,
For me,
you want to reinvent yourself and all that stuff. So, yeah, it does keep you youthful. So, thank you, Ballroom.
for me, it's not even like a boy. It's more so for if I like a guy, I gotta, because I carry weight really well in my face, so I gotta get ready for, like, if I like a boy, I start working out all the time. Like, and the thing about it is, I only have sex in the summertime, so I don't have sex in the winter. I only have sex in the summertime.
Wow.
So it's just like, I'm really weird like that. Like, I only want to, because I want to wear no clothes, and I just, the way I just imagine things, like, I only have sex in the summertime. I'm not winter. I like to hibernate by myself.
Good evening. Mm-mm.
Like, it's just a thing. All my friends be like, you're crazy, but I work out, like, when I like dating, when I'm dating a guy, it's like, that's when I want to work out and pull it together. Like, that's for
I see
me.
because I see you drop the weight too. I'm like you just like I see you know how to be like when it needs to come together. I'm like she does all of that. Like in Atlanta, I said, "Oh, bitch," I said I said, she had dropped it. Like and
We was in Atlanta. We was talking. That's when yes, and I was talking. Yes, and I met Vinny mother. When I was at your table. I was
yes,
so drunk. Oh my
I was drunk
gosh.
too, child. They was
I
giving me damn Hennessy in a little bottle. Like, and I knew I was walking too, so my nerves. So I was like, oh yes, and I'm just drinking the Hennessy, and Hennessy dark liquor wears me out. I was cocktail.
hate Hennessy.
I was cocktail. I look back at that video. I'm all on the table and all this stuff. I'm like, well, at least I had fun, but I was drunk.
Are you going to Atlanta this year?
I doubt it. I don't. I want to go because I do want to go and celebrate Erica's birthday. Shout out to Erica, mashallah. Um, so I want to go and like celebrate her birthday. So I may go and do something private, but I'm definitely not gonna be out in the scene like that. I'm not ready. I'm nervous. Like, did they hear something I didn't
Yeah,
hear? Is Corona going? Cause I ain't hear that. So I'm nervous. Like,
I'm not. So Raquel's a prime example. She's older, but still. But just shout out to Raquel. I live for Raquel. Tempress, the house in Margella is your new do this. Is a whole. All right. Is it a whole? It's a whole another life. That's how you feel about it.
a whole
No,
nother
oh,
life.
I think they're saying Tempress, the House of Margiela, is this new? I don't get it. I can't.
I'm sorry,
Mm.
I don't understand that either.
Yeah, it's like two words wrong. I'm sorry, I can't make it out, AJ.
Oh, hey, AJ. It's like a second win.
It's like
Oh,
a
is it
second
like a
win.
second win? It is like a second win. It is. I didn't think it is. It definitely is because I went. I was out. I was out because I wanted to put the house on the map. I was out like the first year we came out. I was in Atlanta. I was in North Carolina. I was in. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it. So it was like a second win for me, and they give me that. They give me that life, that energy of wanting, that second life. So yeah, it is. What does it take for someone to be in my house? We just need to see, whatever your talent is. We also like people to be around us so that you can see if you like the vibe or we vibe with you. If you have things going on, we really want people to focus on life outside